Calmetti here, and for today's broadcast, I'd like to bring you an update in regards to a cashless society. I have been collecting headlines in the last few weeks, so I'd like to share some of that with you. And I would like to start with this report in regards to Zimbabwe now becoming a cashless society. The report goes on to read, some countries are now slowly but surely moving away from cash. Indeed, some want drastic changes, such as outlawing the use of cash. And it may seem bizarre, but other countries are already implementing that in a big way. For instance, in Britain, cash is not accepted for bus tickets. France has outlawed cash transactions of over 1,000 euros. And in the United States, possession of even a reasonably large amount of money is unusual, and in some cases, it can lead to forfeiture. Zimbabwe is in that league, but for a totally different reason. People and companies are now largely using electronic transfers because of a chronic cash crisis. Bank customers hardly use banknotes and coins. Payments in the economy are now dominated by electronic transfers, with more than 96% of local transactions being conducted through plastic, internet, and mobile money, mainly due to cash shortages. While authorities boast about it, the reality is that people's daily experiences on financial matters demonstrate that plastic money has not been effective in addressing the cash shortages. Of course, the RBZ says it's dealing with this, but the problem has become rampant and crippling for many in the economy. In the meantime, 85% of Canadians don't pay with cash regularly, and Malaysia is fast becoming a cashless society. 70% of the consumers preferring merchants that accept digital payments compared to those that only accept cash. Digital payments are becoming the method of choice with an increase of 21% compared to the previous year. And a study also shows that most respondents appreciate the benefits that come with paying cashless, with 70% cited the method as convenient. 62% said it was hassle-free, while 56% opted for its wide acceptance. More than half of the respondents said going cashless offers greater payment security, in addition to being able to track their spending better. However, cash remains a preferred payment method for small transaction amounts in the country. And RT News is reporting that Russia is outpacing Europe in a cash-free transaction growth. Russia has enjoyed phenomenal growth of cashless payments in the last 8 years, outpacing other European countries as the amount of transactions soared 30-fold from 2010 to 2018. Total revenues from cashless transactions on the European market will grow 5.9% until 2028, noting that in Eastern Europe, the figure will stand at 7.4%. And Russia is the main driver for growth in the region. And in the meantime, the New York Post reported in September that Amazon is testing the Whole Foods payment system that uses their hands as ID. Forget the titanium Apple Card. Amazon's latest payment method uses flesh and blood. The e-tailing giant's engineers are quietly testing scanners that can identify an individual human hand as a way to ring up store purchases, with the goal of rolling them out at its Whole Foods supermarket chain in the coming months. Employees at Amazon's New York offices are serving as guinea pigs for the biometric technology, using it at a handful of vending machines to buy such items as sodas, chips, granola bars, and phone chargers, according to sources briefed on the plans. The high-tech sensors are different from fingerprint scanners found on devices like your iPhone and don't require users to physically touch their hands to the scanning surface. Instead, they use computer vision and depth geometry to process and identify the shape and size of each hand they scan before charging a credit card on file. The system is codenamed Orville, and it will allow customers with Amazon Prime accounts to scan their hands at the store and link them to their credit card or debit card. It's accurate to within 1%. But Amazon engineers are scrambling to improve its millions of 1% ahead of its launch. While a card transaction typically takes between 3 and 4 seconds, Amazon's new technology can process the charge in less than 300 milliseconds. The founder and CEO said that retailers have always been interested in faster checkout. You only have to walk into Whole Foods to see the massive lines of people waiting to check out. It's a massive friction point. If it is a success, the technology could also help encourage consumers to spend more when they visit Whole Foods. People tend to spend more when they don't have the experience of touching something like money. With the new hand-based tech, shoppers won't even have to bring their phones. But nevertheless, experts say it's unclear whether customers will be enthusiastic about scanning their hands at Whole Foods. And with all of that said, engineers have developed a method of printing electronic devices directly onto the human skin. The eyebrow-raising breakthrough could be used to create high-tech bespoke bandages and may even become another tool in modern warfare. Scientists have been trying to create so-called electronic tattoos for years now, and the latest development represents a significant step forward for the spooky-sounding technology. The system, created by researchers from Duke University, is gentle enough to work on delicate surfaces, including paper and human skin. And many are stating that it could pave the way for embedded electronic tattoos for biological tagging and bandages containing patient-specific biosensors. The scientists developed an ink laced with silver nanowires that can be printed directly onto the skin at low temperatures using an aerosol printer. The thin film is dry in less than 2 minutes and works even after being bent more than 1,000 times. It goes on further to report that as well as biological tagging, Professor Aaron Franklin, one of the researchers, said that the tattoos could be used for unique detection mechanisms, on-the-fly custom electronics, and customized bandages. He said, think about creating bespoke bandages that contain electronics like biosensors, where a nurse could just walk over to a workstation and punch in what features were needed for a specific patient. This is the type of print-on-demand capability that could help drive that. Finally, it reports that as with many technological breakthroughs, a military use for the technology has already been devised. Another group of researchers from the University of Minnesota have developed a low-cost 3D printer, which would enable soldiers to print disposable sensors on their hands, which could detect such things as chemical or biological agents in the field. So some very interesting news there in regards to the tattoos, which I assume can also be used for payment. But in a whole, in just this brief broadcast, we're seeing the world push for a cashless society. I especially found the article in the New York Post in regards to Whole Foods and paying with your hand. Another push to Revelation chapter 13, verses 16 through 18, which basically says, you won't be able to buy or sell anything without a mark on your right hand or on your forehead. And I have gone into detail about that prophecy in other broadcasts, so I'll make sure to leave a link for you guys in the description below this video. So if you want, and if you have the time, you can go and check that out. But I just figured that for today, I would bring you a quick update in regards to these types of headlines. Please do leave your comments in the comment section. Also, if you have a free moment this weekend, come and visit us on Facebook, where we have these stories and many more, as well as our website at www.cww7news.org. Thank you everyone for watching. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you on Monday. God bless.